Hey everyone, welcome to week 7 of online AP Stats. This week we are just continuing on with your learning in chapter 3. It is a short week. You're only here for school on Monday and Tuesday. And as posted before, I have the mid-chapter deadline for chapter 3 set for Wednesday the 15th. Even though technically you don't have school, I'm just giving you an extra day to work on that if needed. That has to be done by 3 p.m. So when you take a look at all of the work that includes, what should be done is going to be our section 3.1 and 3.2 just up to D, E, F, and G, but also don't forget the mid-chapter free response. So again, that is going to be our deadline for the mid-chapter. You are more than welcome to get that done and completed before the Wednesday deadline. If you want to get it in by Tuesday, I've already seen mid-chapter free responses coming in this week, so kudos to those of you that are ahead of the game on that. And then you're going to notice that following week, we will wrap up section 3.2, do our FRQ analysis, our review, and then have our test. Again, one of the things on the review is what I said here. Please do the review and please try it. When you're getting feedback on that review and you submit it, that's where I really do want you to reach out to me with questions you have. Don't forget this video. I walk through all of the answers and solutions and how I go about kind of analyzing that. So if you don't want to reach out to me, you can always try the video first. There's obviously optional practice, which I have seen some of you trying. You're more than welcome to do that if you would like. This test, what you're going to have, I will move it to Friday instead of the Thursday, the 23rd, Friday the 24th. I like the Fridays. We have a little bit more time versus Thursday, which are Wednesdays, so you get that extra 8 minutes of testing time. And it gives you another day to study. So if you are not going to be here Friday the 24th, see me and we'll get you to take that on the Thursday. Other than that, I will move the deadline to Friday the 24th for the test. This particular test, if we take a look at it, you do have to be careful. I believe this is going to be falling more into the end of what we call the end of the quarter. So this test tends not to be retakeable. This is a paper-based test as usual. It's going to be worth 12 summative points. It's going to be 5 multiple choice questions worth 5 points. That means the remainder of the 7 points, what you're going to find, will actually be Chapter 3 questions. Now, every now and then in our chapter tests, you will have review questions popping up. It's any type of review question from a previous chapter learned is fair game. Sometimes I will mention it to you, and sometimes you're just going to have that show up. So remember, on our last Chapter 2 test, the review question that was very important that to highlight from chapter 1 is don't forget your socks. When they talk about describe a distribution, that's the one thing that needs to be ingrained in your brain is don't forget your shape, center, spread, outliers, and obvious gaps or clusters. For chapter 3, the thing that you want to kind of take away from you is your DOFs. What they'll say is when you're describing a scatter plot, right? Direction, form, strength, and again, any outliers that you would see in that case. What can you do to help yourself review for this? Remember that a review assignment, looking over your notes is always good. I am going to do a note check on Chapter 3. It was actually very insightful for me to do it on Chapter 2 to kind of see the correlation between maybe test performance and the quality of notes. I do see a little bit of a correlation with that, so the better your notes are, the more prepared hopefully you're going to be for everything else. Make sure that this formula sheet is being used in Chapter 3, so you may have to use the formula sheet, reference that, and again see what are the formulas that we learned for this chapter. And again, because of the timing of this test, this is considered our end of quarter exam. This is the last exam that goes in the quarter, is not considered retakeable. So please track me down, especially with that extra day of studying that you're going to have. Let me know how you can help. Coming in on Thursday, that Wednesday of the 23rd might be a really good strategy to help you prepare for that test, since the test is now going to be Friday the 24th. So let me know how I can help and keep up the great work. See you soon. Bye.